21. 541 Dearborn Avenue, Chicago, 24th May 1894. Dear Adhyapak Ji, herewith I forward to you a letter from one of our ruling princes of Rajputana, His Highness the Maharaja of Khetri, and another from the Opium Commissioner, late Minister of Junagadh, one of the largest states in India, and a man who is called the Gladstone of India. These I hope would convince you of my being no fraud. One thing I forgot to tell you. I never identified myself any way with Mr. Mazumdar's party chief. If he says so, he does not speak the truth. I hope after your perusal, you will kindly send the letters over to me, except the pamphlet which I do not care for. I am bound, my dear friend, to give you every satisfaction of my being a genuine sannyasin, but to you alone. I do not care what the rabble say or think about me. Some would call you a saint, some a chandala, some a lunatic, others a demon. Go on then straight to thy work without heeding either. Thus saith one of our great sannyasins, an old emperor of India, King Bhartrhari, who joined the order in old times. May the Lord bless you forever and ever. My love to all your children and my respects to your noble wife. I remain ever your friend, Vivekananda. P.S. I had connection with Pandit Shivanath Shastri's party, but only on points of social reform. Mazumdar and Chandrasen I always considered as not sincere, and I have no reason to change my opinion even now. Of course, in religious matters, even with my friend Panditji, I differed much, the chief being, I think sannyasa or giving up the world the highest ideal, and he a sin. So the Brahmo Samajists consider becoming a monk a sin. Yours, V. The Brahmo Samaj, like Christian Science in your country, spread in Calcutta for a certain time and then died out. I am not sorry, neither glad that it died. It has done its work, which is social reform. Its religion was not worth a cent, and so it must die out. If Mazumdar thinks I was one of the causes of its death, he errs. I am even now a great sympathizer of its reforms. Religion could not hold its own against the old Vedanta. What shall I do? Is that my fault? Mazumdar has become childish in his old age and takes to tactics not a whit better than some of your Christian missionaries. Lord bless him and show him better ways. Yours, Vivekananda. When are you going to Annisquam? My love to Austin and Byme. My respects to your wife, and for you my love and gratitude is too deep for expression. Yours ever affectionately, Vivekananda. 22. 541 Dearborn Avenue, 18th June 1894. Dear Adhyapak Ji, excuse my delay in sending the other letters. I could not find them earlier. I am going to New York in a week. I do not know whether I will come to Annisquam or not. The letters need not be sent over to me until I write you again. Mrs. Bagley seems to be unsettled by that article in the Boston paper against me. She sent me over a copy from Detroit and has ceased correspondence with me. Lord bless her. She has been very kind to me. Stout hearts like yours are not common, my brother. This is a queer place, this world of ours. On the whole, I am very, very thankful to the Lord for the amount of kindness I have received at the hands of the people of this country. I, a complete stranger here, without even credentials. Everything works for the best. Yours ever in gratitude, Vivekananda. P.S. The East India stamps are for your children if they like. 23. USA, 5th September 1894. Dear Mr. Bhattacharya, I was much pleased to read your affectionate letter. I shall make inquiries about the weaving machine as soon as I can and let you know. Now I am resting at Annisquam, a village on the sea coast. Soon I shall go to the city and attend to the matter of the machine. These seaside places are filled with people during the summer. Some come to bathe in the sea, some to take rest, and some to catch husbands. There is a strong sense of decorum in this country. You have to keep yourself always covered from neck to foot in the presence of women. You cannot so much as mention the normal functions of the body. Nobody knows when anyone goes to the toilet. One has to live so circumspectly. In this country, you can blow your nose 1,000 times into your handkerchief. There is no harm in that, but it is highly uncivilized to belch. Women sometimes are not embarrassed to expose their bodies above the waist. You must have seen the kind of low-cut gown they wear, but they say that to go barefoot is as bad as being naked. Just as we always dwell on the soul, so they take care of the body, and there is no end to the cleaning and embellishing of it. One who fails to do this has no place in society. Our method of cooking with cow dung fuel and eating on the floor they consider eating like pigs. They say that the Hindus have no sense of disgust and that, like pigs, they eat cow dung. The word cow dung is taboo in English. On the other hand, numbers of people will drink water with the same glass without thinking of washing it, and they rarely observe the rule that things must be washed before cooking. But should the clothes of the cook be a little soiled, they will throw her out. The tableware is all spick and span. They are the richest people on earth. Their enjoyments and luxuries beggar description. In Rajputana, they imitate the Mohammedans in their mode of dining, which is on the whole good. They sit on a low seat and place their plate of rice on a low table. This is much better than spreading a banana leaf on the earthen floor plastered with cow dung and filth. And how disastrous if the leaf gets torn. The Hindus did not know much about clothes or food. Moreover, whatever Hindu civilization there was existed in the Punjab and the northwest provinces. Our women lose caste if they put on shoes, but the Rajput women lose their caste if they don't put on shoes. Says Manu, one shall always wear shoes. There is no denying that people should have a decent enough standard of living. I say they should be neat and clean, even though not luxurious. I say, why do we have to be Englishmen? It is enough for the present if we imitate our brothers of the western provinces. If group after group of Indians travel all over the world and back for some years, the face of India will be changed within 20 years by that alone. Nothing else need be done. But how will anything happen if the people of one village do not visit the next? However, everything will take place by and by. By and by, the stubborn Bengali boys will awaken the country. But Manmatha Babu, you will have to stop this shameful business of marrying off 9-year-old girls. That is the root of all sins. It is a very great sin, my boy. Consider further what a terrible thing it was that when the government wanted to pass a law stopping early marriage, our worthless people raised a tremendous howl. If we don't stop it ourselves, the government will naturally intervene, and that is just what it wants to do. All the world cries fire upon us. You remain shut up in your homes, but the people outside spit on you. How far can I quarrel with them? What a horror! Even a father and mother allow their 10-year-old daughter to be given in marriage to a full-grown fat husband. Oh Lord, is there any punishment unless there has been a sin? It is all the fruit of karma. If ours were not a terribly sinful nation, then why should it have been booted and beaten for 700 years? Now, just as in our country the parents suffer a lot to have their daughter married, here in the same way the girls suffer, the parents only a little. It is the job of the girls to capture husbands. I am now closely associated with them in all their affairs. I am, as it were, a woman amongst women. Therefore, I have seen and am seeing all their play, to give dinners, to dance, to go to musical parties, go to the watering places, all that is all right. But all the while the young women are scheming within themselves how to capture husbands. They hang round the boys. The boys, on the other hand, are so cautious that though they mingle with the girls and flirt with them all the time, when it is time to surrender, they run away. The boys place the girls above themselves. They show them respect and slave for them. But the moment the girls stretch their hands to catch them, they run away beyond their reach. After many efforts of this kind, a girl succeeds in capturing a boy. If the girl has money, then many a boy dances attendance upon her, but the poor have great difficulty. If a poor girl is exceedingly beautiful, she can marry quickly. Otherwise, she has to wait all her life. Just as in our country, so here, one marriage in 1,000 takes place through love and courtship. The rest are based on money. After that, quarrel, and then get out. Divorce. We do not have this. The only way out is to hang oneself. It is the same in all countries. Only, here the girls take matters into their own hands, and in our country, we get the help of the parents to give their married life a decent appearance. The result is the same in either case. Nowadays, however, American girls don't want to marry. During the Civil War, a large number of men were killed and women began to do all kinds of work. Since then, they have not wanted to give up the rights they have acquired. They earn their own living, and therefore they say, there is no use in marrying. If we truly fall in love, then we shall marry. Otherwise, we shall earn and meet our own expenses. Even if the father is a millionaire, the son has to earn enough before he marries. One may not marry depending on an allowance from the father. The girls also want the same thing now. When a son marries, he becomes like a stranger to his own family. But when a girl marries, she brings her husband, as it were, into her parents' home. Men will visit their wives' parents 10 times, but rarely go to their own parents. Yet they are very much afraid of having their mothers in law on their neck. In this country, there are rivers of wealth and waves of beauty, and an abundance of knowledge everywhere. The country is very healthy. They know how to enjoy this earth. When princes of Europe become poor, they come to marry here. The average American doesn't like this, but some rich, beautiful women fall for the titles. Yet it is very difficult for American women to live in Europe. The husbands of this country are slaves of their wives, but the European wives are slaves to their husbands. This the American women don't like. In everything, the men here have to say, "Yes, dear," otherwise the wives lose face before people. The women in America are very sentimental and have a mania for romance. I am, however, a strange sort of animal who hasn't any romantic feeling, and therefore they could not sustain any such feeling toward me, and they show me great respect. I make all of them call me father or brother. I don't allow them to come near me with any other feeling, and gradually they have all been straightened out. The ministers in this country are eager to throw sinners into hell. A few of them are very good, however. I have a great reputation among the women in this country. I have not as yet seen a single unchaste girl among the unmarried. It is either a widow or a married woman who turn unchaste. The unmarried girls are exceedingly good because their future is bright. Those emaciated Western women, looking like old dried up fruit, whom you see in India are English. And the English are an ugly race amongst the Europeans. In America, the best blood strains of Europe have been blended, and therefore the American women are very beautiful. And how they take care of their beauty. Can a woman retain her beauty if she gives birth to children every hour from her 10th year on? Damn nonsense. What a terrible sin. Even the most beautiful woman of our country will look like a black owl here. Yet it must be admitted that the women of the Punjab have very well-drawn features. Many of the American women are very well educated and put many a learned professor to shame, nor do they care for anyone's opinion. And as regards their virtues, what kindness, what noble thought and action. Just think, if a man of this country were to visit India, nobody would even touch him. Yet here I am, allowed to do as I please in the houses of the best families, like their own son. I am like a child. Their women shop for me, run errands for me. For example, I have just written to a girl for information about the machine, which she will gather carefully and send to me. Again, a phonograph was sent to the Maharaj of Khetri. The girls managed the whole affair very well. Lord, Lord, it is the difference between heaven and hell. They are the goddess Lakshmi in beauty and the goddess Saraswati in talents and accomplishments. This cannot be achieved through the study of books. I say, can you send out some men and women to see the world? Only then will the country wake up, not through the reading of books. The men here are very clever in earning wealth. Where others do not see even dust, there they see gold. Whoever will leave India and visit another country will earn great merit. Keeping aloof from the community of nations is the only cause for the downfall of India. Since the English came, they have been forcing you back into communion with other nations, and you are visibly rising again. Everyone that comes out of the country confers a benefit on the whole nation, for it is by doing that alone that your horizon will expand. And as women cannot avail themselves of this advantage, they have made almost no progress in India. There is no station of rest. Either you progress upwards or you go back and die out. The only sign of life is going outward and forward and expansion. Contraction is death. Why should you do good to others? Because that is the only condition of life. Thereby you expand beyond your little self. You live and grow. All narrowness, all contraction, all selfishness is simply slow suicide. And when a nation commits the fatal mistake of contracting itself and of thus cutting off all expansion and life, it must die. Women similarly must go forward or become idiots and soulless tools in the hands of their tyrannical lords. The children are the result of the combination of the tyrant and the idiot, and they are slaves. And this is the whole history of modern India. Oh, who would break this horrible crystallization of death? Lord help us. Gradually, all this will come about. One should cross a road slowly and cautiously. One should patch a quilt carefully and cautiously. So should one be slow and cautious in crossing a mountain. The papers have arrived duly and in good shape. There has not been any difficulty about that. The enemy has been silenced. Consider this. They have allowed me, an unknown young man, to live among their grown up young daughters, and when my own countryman Mazumdar says, I am a rogue, they don't pay any attention. How noble they are, and how kind. I shall not be able to repay this debt even in 100 lives. I am like a foster son to the American women. They are really my mother. If they don't flourish in every way, who would? A while back, several hundred intellectual men and women were gathered in a place called Greenacre, and I was there for nearly 2 months. Every day I would sit in our Hindu fashion under a tree, and my followers and disciples would sit on the grass all around me. Every morning I would instruct them, and how earnest they were. The whole country now knows me. The ministers are very angry, but naturally, not all of them. There are many followers of mine amongst the learned ministers of this country. The ignorant and the stubborn amongst them don't understand anything, but only make trouble, and thereby they only hurt themselves. But abusing me, Mazumdar has lost 3/4 of what little popularity he had in this country. I have been adopted by them. When anyone abuses me, he is condemned everywhere by the women. I cannot say when I shall return to India, possibly next winter. There I shall have to wander, and here also I do the same. There is nothing more to add. Please don't make this letter public. You understand? I have to be careful about every word I say. I am now a public man. Everybody is watching, particularly the clergy. Yours faithfully, Vivekananda.